Hi, Sam. I think this is looking really pretty great. Let's see. Let's zoom out. Yeah, I think your text is close enough in size to where, when you make it smaller, I mean, interiors does start to disappear a little bit, but it's not so much smaller that it's that big of a deal. With these shapes, I mean, I would almost say making it the same color as the leaf itself could also work. I'm not saying I like it better, but it might work. Let's see, you have the stroke on 5 on this. This is also 5. It seems to do pretty well, even when sized down. I don't have a black and white version of this, but I guess it'd be easy enough for you to make one by just changing all the colors to black. All of your text is outlined, which is good. And I do like this really simple color scheme of 3 colors. Black does count as a color in logo design. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. I would say, with a logo, one thing you could do is so do a file save as, and in your client folder, name it the name of the client's and this would be the CMYK version, which is the color version. That's the AI file. And then do a file save as and make a black and white one. Push save, push OK. And then this is where you would make a black and white one. So I want you to go ahead and do this because you do need a CMYK and a black and white version of any logo that you make for any client. I don't know if I asked for that originally. I don't think I did. But yeah, just go in here and change everything to black for your black file. Also, I would remove the color scheme from the artboard. I mean, you could just put it out on both files. So this is the black and white AI, and then you have a color AI, which I can open back up. And just, it says I'm missing fonts, which I'm not sure where that would be. It might be off of the artboard. Because I mean, I think you have everything outlined. So I don't know why it's telling me. Maybe there's like a text box somewhere that's just not showing up. But yeah, also a good place to put the color scheme would be, you don't need it obviously in the black and white file, but if you want it in your logo file, a good place to put it is in here, in the swatches panel. You can just make a new color group. Like logo, you can name it logo colors, push OK. And so yeah, just kind of bring them down here this way. And then you can Command S, and so when you go into your file, you will have your logo colors here. I think you can also make these. I want to say you can make. I think you can make your colors global across your whole document. So if you change it in one spot, it'll update every instance of that color. Can't remember where you do that though. Might have to look it up online. Global colors in Illustrator. It's a handy way of setting up your logo colors in the document. And then you don't need these swatches anymore. You can just save that. You can save the black and white one, the Command S. Also, a lot of times you might end up saving out several different file types for each logo. So AI documents are pretty large, but if you want a smaller, a step down from an AI, an EPS is great. So you can make it, you could save out an EPS of each file, save as. make an EPS, push save. So we have an AI and an EPS, which are both high res files. Let's do a file export as. We can make a JPEG. JPEGs are very, I'm going to check use artboard. JPEGs are very standard. Export CMYK. We can actually put this one in grayscale since it's a black and white, but we definitely want it on high resolution so it isn't so that it's clear. Same goes for this one. File export as. Make a JPEG. Use artboards. Export. We can leave this one in CMYK, not in grayscale because this is, and we want it on high. Push OK. So yeah, we have several different file types. We could also do export as. I think we could do a PDF. Actually, I think you have to do a file save as to get a file save as to get a PDF. PDFs are still pretty high resolution. If we go through here, we don't want to use document bleed settings. Everything else should be good. And these will have a transparent background too. So PDFs are nice because PNGs as well, if you want to export out a PNG, but typically PNG files will be RGB. So if you want a transparent background that's in CMYK, PDFs work pretty well for that. Save PDF. So yeah, I would say you would hand off this logo, and I would rename this to be like Kennedy Hampton Material logo, something like that. And then I would probably just delete these two. And so now you have your AI, EPS, JPEG, PDF of each black and white and CMYK. And so I would just delete these. That's one thing about logo design is just getting your files ready to give to the client. I'm going to make a new folder and I'm just going to name it black and white, or you might just do black and white. Or sometimes it's just BW for black and white. Sometimes people name it grayscale too. I'm just going to put BW. And then we'll do file new folder, CMYK. And this is just for print. I mean, we haven't even done RGB files. So, I mean, if you want to save out RGBs, you go back into the AI of this, close this, and you'd probably just save out like export as. You'd save out a PNG, and you'd put that in the RGB. You would put that in the RGB folder. High resolution, transparent background, okay. And you don't need RGB of a grayscale of a black and white because it doesn't matter. But and you could also export as a JPEG as well. You could just do it in RGB instead. You could also bring it down to 72 for screens if you wanted to. So, but maybe just keeping it high. And so, actually going in, if we go into your files again, if we go into the RGB, we just need to rename. I forgot to put RGB on the ends. And the RGB files are typically just going to be PNG and JPEGs, because these will probably be used on like screens for websites or Facebook pages, things like that. We did export these in high resolution. You might export out low resolutions ones too, so that they're not such a big file size for screen, such as like a website or something. And then these would be for probably more or less, this would probably be for print. You could still use these on the website, like the JPEG anyway. EPS, AIs, PDFs you wouldn't use on screen because it's not supported by websites or anything that you'd be putting together for screen. But anyway, that's kind of how you would organize your files. I'm not going to count off for not doing that, but I just wanted to show you this. And you would probably just you probably would compress this, make it a zip folder, and then send that in a Google link, Google Docs link, or something like that. I do suggest, I do want you to actually make a black and white version of this, and save out an AI of the black and white and an AI of the CMYK at least. You don't have to save out all the different file types. You can just leave it at an AI file for both black and white and CMYK. But I think you should at least do that and maybe resubmit into the same assignment area, and I'll update your grade a little bit. I'm not going to give you a bad grade. If you want like a better grade, then just submit a black and white version too, and take those. Do remember to take off the color scheme. Just take that off and only have it in the swatches panel on the CMYK AI file, and just put it in your swatches in its own color group. And if you do those things, then I'll update your grade a little bit. So sorry to make you go back in and do something a little different, but I think it'll take you a total of like 5 minutes. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.